Hello, everyone. My face for a brief minute, as we're already getting in the game. We were supposed to be casting Gumiho versus Hero Marine, but then turns out that was wrong. So now the other match that's happening is Serral versus SortOf, but they're playing a game / getting food, so they're not here.
Okay, I was gonna say I would have really liked to have seen that one, to be honest.
Well, this is the one that was available, and the other one is undetermined time, so...
Hey.
As much as I would just like to sit there. Yeah. Let's do whatever.
Well, quick question before we do whatever. I was having some audio troubles last night. Do I sound okay?
Yeah.
All right. Cool beans. Cool runnings.
Cool. So, pretty sure it's a best of 5. In the bottom right, has the red Protoss. It is showtime.
Oh God, the camera bugs. The top left. It's gonna be the blue Zerg player. Team experts, Bly.
Yep.
Gonna make a modification to the tweet. Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Get up on it. It's PVZ time.
Good job.
Actually, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Wardy and I had like a real talk moment about this yesterday. There have been so many PVZs in this tournament, but what's been interesting was Wardy had expressed that he felt a lot of them were boring, stale, and very much all the same. I feel like we've been blessed. We got to see some cool stuff, even stuff I didn't cast with you, like SortOf's like High Templar neural into like feedbacks. Like there's been a lot of really cool PVZs in this tournament so far.
I mean, I like the PVZs. I didn't really realize... Well, I guess a part of me realized that there was mostly PVZs, not all the Terrans. But I guess I didn't really mind, so...
Deep down, I knew all along what I was doing.
Yeah. You know, I was more surprised with the lack of ZvZs, being a European Cup most of all, but PVZ's fine. I think...
Actually, I think I ended up with the butt tail of the ZvZs because I cast a lot of ZvZs, but I showed you that highlight, of course. Some of them have absolutely been worthwhile. That's a laser rainer game.
Oh yeah. Oh, yesterday, like 2 days ago. That was 2 days ago.
Yeah. The Broodlord Corsair Gear snipes and stuff. You know, it blows me away too. I love you guys. You guys tuning in right now. I love all of you, right? But it's so funny watching dumb clips of me playing my sock puppet, making it to Reddit, and then nobody clipping a moment where a Zerg player Corsair Gear 7 friggin' Broodlords and a ZvZ. Like what?
Well, one is funnier than the other, so it's not much of a surprise.
That's true. I guess for highlights, I always think like cool outweighs funny in my mind.
I mean, I was gonna say that there's been enough highlights clipped and sent to Reddit that I've been, you know, it's getting the tournament some traction. After all, a lot of this tournament has to do with trying to raise money for Home Story Cup, which you can do by donating on Take's stream, not this one.
Yeah, and they've raised, I think, it's like 11,000 total or something, but like 8,000 through this event alone.
Yeah.
Also, people are reporting the bot being dead. I'm gonna go fix that real quick.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it's been successful, so that's great for them. God forbid we complain at all. Starting on the way for showtime. I forgot who we were casting already. Ling got in for Bly. When I saw this was the matchup, I wasn't like... I mean, I was like, well, there could be something happening here. Bly obviously has gotten to this point. He's looked strong. I mean, not like super strong, but he's looked strong and certainly deserves to be here. But up against Showtime, one of the best Protosses in the world, in foreigner land especially, and in this tournament, it's like, I don't really know. I don't know if Bly's tricks are going to work. And Bly's straight-up macro still has some problems, even though I think that he can control the pace of a game very well. There is some macro and micro slip-ups. But we'll see. Oracle now on the way, followed up by a Void Ray.
If you remember, when we were casting the other day, I was nerding out pretty hardcore about his Ravager style, right? I actually took the time to message him afterwards and be like, yo, was this like a YOLO thing? Or were you planning for that, right? And for Bly... Oh no, hello?
Hi.
Oh, jeez. Oh, it made me have a heart attack. I'm like, no, come on, I just restarted the bot. But yeah, Bly kind of insisted that like it's a new thing for him. It's really cool that he got to develop it. He was pretty proud of it, but it's also really difficult to pull off.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I got to witness Serral do some really sick games versus Neeb. In fact, knocking Neeb down to the finals of the group to play versus Snoot in a rematch. I don't actually know how that went because they went without us. It's a whole other story. But in Serral versus Neeb, what was kind of cool was the Zerg player. In that instance, we've seen several Zerg players through this tournament try and make Hydras work. But the way Serral was using them was just really, really cool and different. So I don't know if Bly's going to go down that direction, because it does seem like, just generally speaking, the trend here is start using light units. Stop dying to Immortals.
I guess that is one of the reasons to go for it. It looks like Neeb did beat Snoot again, because he's the one facing TLO in the round of 8.
Okay.
So
Cool.
That'll have to be a recover game, most likely. I mean, not a lot has happened, but the builds have already been chosen, so... Assuming Bly can come back. Great start. Love it.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Technical hiccups are bound to happen. But luckily today, no matter how bad the hiccups may be, it should not, under any circumstance, be as long as the other days. TaKeTV, I guess, they're running 2 best of 5s at a time, so there's not going to be a ton of waiting.
Whoa, what a concept.
I know, it's pretty crazy. I was trying to shout from the other room. I don't know if you heard me. I was like, I see someone else also saw Reddit after hearing the God forbid we complain thing.
I didn't hear you.
Okay, well, I was yelling. I didn't know if you could or not, but it's been a draining few days. But I gotta tell you, man, this is like for you, not them, right? You guys watching, shh, for just a moment, right? Quit being so loud. Solo casting is tough when you're sick, whatever. But it's also really tough when I don't know how to phrase this better, but like you're bored. I really missed getting to just kind of shoot the shit with you. The 2 games or 3 games we did or whatever prior to you leaving yesterday was more fun than even the good. And there were some really good games that we had for the rest of the day.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I wanted to have a co-caster, I guess, today and just be together again. Oh my god. Because it was like, well, first of all, solo casting was just like, it was starting to irritate my throat.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that was like first and foremost, but...
I had the energy. I actually had the energy to stream after we were done, but my voice wouldn't let me. I just couldn't.
Yeah. Okay. So Serral versus SortOf is happening, so I figure let's just go do that. We're supposed to do the one that wasn't Showtime Bly in the first place, basically, because that's what I told Wardy. And then second of all, I guess the perfect opportunity because Bly might take a long time anyways. And we didn't get to see too much of a PVZ, so it's like you didn't witness it at all. Just forget that happened.
I'm like sad because I thought I had some pretty good points about the PVZs in this tournament. It's like the one time Rifkin tried to do analysis and he probably fucking nailed it too. It's just like, nah, fuck it. Fuck you, Rifkin.
Think more about the ZvZs that's upcoming then. I mean, it might still take a while, so I just will be on the break screen for a while. And Rifkin is still going to be a hammock without a cat because my cats are all around me right now, but...
So cute.
That's all right, you know. This is Apollo over here. He's being cute. And then Nugget left. Nugget.
Yo, so I kind of tweeted this last night. I want to just take a moment to and I know this will be brought up again later, but thank those of you guys who've been cheering over the last few months in chat. It's been really cool to look at our stats and Zombrab and I are still not exactly swimming money, Scrooge McDuck styles yet, but we've had more bits in this first week of May than the entirety of 2016. It's been insane. Of course, a big part of that was Zombie Grub's birthday, I'm sure, but it's just crazy to look at. I'm so glad that this was something that actually took off and that you guys seem to enjoy doing.
I think, as much as I would want to be like, ow! Ow!
Really? You would want to be like?
Ow!
Ow!
Apollo was perched on the table above my hand, and he slipped. And since he can't retract his claws, he just dug into me.
Oh, shit, that's gonna hurt.
God! He looks alarmed. It's okay, Apollo. It's fine, I'm just bleeding. Anyways, I think it was more about the portrait code wars. God!
Yeah, well, regardless of what it was for, it's still cool that It's like an unexpected revenue stream, I guess. And you guys don't understand. For us, like, our revenue streams have been pretty standard for a while. It's kind of like getting a Christmas bonus in the first week of May. It's probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
To answer Roral in chat, he says, will both English streams be covering the same matches, and are they playing multiple matches at the same time? We're going to try to not cover the same matches. We might end up forcibly having to do so because of what we just saw moments ago. And it should be 2 matches at a time for what we understand for the rest of the day. They've outlined it pretty clearly, like round 1 winners, round 1 losers, and stuff like that. But really, it could just end up being players are missing, games are delayed, and we will have no choice but to cast the same games type thing.
Yeah. Yep. Well, what do you want to talk about since we're waiting? What are you doing?
I actually have a question.
What?
I know we talked about it briefly, and we are 100,000,000% avoiding spoilers on this. Guardians of the Galaxy. You got to see it. I still haven't. Was it super kick-ass?
Everyone? No. Yeah.
Everyone definitely doesn't die.
No, it was really good. I think like as soon as the movie ended, and it takes a while for it to end because like I guess there's a lot of after scene credits or after movie credits scenes. There we go. So make sure to stick around for the entire like end of the credit list. Oh, we got a new sub, Martin Sell. Thank you very much. But after it ended for real, my friend and I, because I went with like 3 of my friends, one of my friends and I just looked at each other and we were like, there were too many jokes. Like, I know that sounds really dumb because it's a comedy and like everyone knows that. I'm not saying like, wow, that wasn't enough action and sci-fi for me, but they definitely upped the amount of jokes and it kind of got like, you could expect them coming. So that was like the only complaint that I had.
So I was watching a goddamn movie with Rifkin. Jesus.
Kind of. No.
Oh.
No. It was still really good. And like the last like 30% of the movie was like actually fucking amazing. So, yeah, definitely go see it. I've been thinking about the movie actually for the last like 48 hours. But I can't talk to anyone about it.
No, that's fair. I have also sports spoilers here, so...
Oh my god, no! No!
Despite being Canadian, I'm not much into sports. However, my roommate is obsessed with hockey, and she's really cool, blah, 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 right? Okay. Disclaimer. I sat down with her to watch, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll try and learn a little bit about this. So, It's a playoff game.
Yeah.
She's going to explain to me what's going on.
Uh-huh.
She's cheering for the Ducks. They're playing the Oilers. And I sit down to the worst game for this team that she's like so hyped for, right? Where the Oilers end up scoring 2 goals. The Ducks end up scoring 1, but it doesn't even count because I guess there's some was it a high sticking or something?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, your team's doing really good. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll see you tomorrow morning, right? Like the awkward goodbye. Go to sleep. Wake up to all this crazy shit. Top of Reddit, like 4 posts. How they had this like insane rest of the game. And I guess I'm trying to avoid spoilers, so I won't say who won. But like it got close. It got scary. Like, and I watched these highlights. I'm like, in the fucking half hour that I left, this game actually was something I would have loved to have seen. I'm like the bad luck charm or something. I don't know. It's the first time I think I've ever been excited about sports, I guess.
Well, that's cool. My brother and my dad are really into hockey now because the Pittsburgh Penguins are doing well. Or were. I don't know what happened last night. But the one hockey game that I ever went to live in Pittsburgh, when I was like 7 or 8, I got a free jersey and that was cool. But then
nice.
It was the worst game ever. Like I think hockey as a sport recognizes that it was one of the worst games ever because the Penguins ended up losing by 7 points. No, maybe more. I think we left actually about 75% into the game because they were losing by 7 points. So they might have lost by more after. And like in hockey, 7 points is a lot.
Yeah.
It's not like basketball. So yeah, I was too impressed with hockey.
Well, so what I gather from this then is that neither you or I should ever go to a sports game together, as one of the teams will lose terribly.
Basically. The other time I went to a sports game, I went to a basketball game because I was Michael Jordan was in town for the Wizards, and he didn't have a very cool career on the Wizards if you didn't know that.
He may have been in town for the Wizards, but I would have seen him for Space Jam.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I saw him, but it was really kind of a lame game. I don't even think he played the entire thing, so... Nah, well, you know, live and not watch sports. Watch esports! Esports, it's in the game. I haven't heard that in a while. Anyways, it's a ZvZ best of 5, and just forget that anything before this happened. It's like it never did. In the bottom right is the red Zerg. It is Serral.
And his opponent's a pretty good guy, sort of.
Ah, I get it.
SortOf's actually looking pretty damn good right now. But the problem is, and this isn't just an opinion here. Like almost every gamer in Europe right now or StarCraft gamer, excuse me, will almost unanimously agree Serral's like top Zerg. Serral's like the guy to fear. Serral's the guy you want to learn from and get better from. But SortOf's not coming from Europe right now. He's coming from Korea. So maybe he's got something to say.
I hope I made it on the right server.
Control Shift F, or was it Control Alt F? Central.
Oh, yay! I did it.
Nailed it. So yeah, I don't know. This I wish this was Serral versus SortOf Europe versus Europe, because I think they are both top-notch players. But I think favoritism goes slightly to Serral for this one.
I would agree. SortOf, I mean, he looks strong, but he didn't really have that breakout, like, wow, Korea has done wonders for this guy, like, for instance, Kelazur did maybe in Austin. Plus, it's always, I think it's a little more questionable, to be honest, for the Zerg players that go to Korea if they're going to have such a boost compared to the other Protoss and Terran. Like, and I don't really want to get into the whole, like, well, Zergs are worse or have different styles or, like, are still infinitely better. Are still infinitely better than the European counterparts, but I don't know. It's so far I feel like the Terrans that have impressed me most who have come back from Korea, but that's that's a very limited size pool, and obviously like there's a ton of good players that are still over in Korea, Zerg and Terran alike, and actually in the team house it's more like Protoss is having a tough time because they don't have a lot of people to talk to. But anyways, let's see what SortOf can throw out. Serral has been doing really, really well, and he has been playing on the European server, which is all ZvZ. And he obviously got to this point, so...
It's all ZvZ only, always. And anytime you see anything else, it's actually us off server.
Yes, I think so. I mean, well, they
have to
import... They have to import a foreign Protoss to have a Protoss on their ladder. Yeah,
Neep jokes.
Yeah, neep jokes. Yeah, exactly.
Got him. Got him good.
Yeah. Anyways, SortOf, yeah, like I said, I would give Serral the win too, but SortOf has had some pretty cool tricks, and obviously his time in Korea isn't totally wasted. I think I talked to him about it too, and he thought that he was improving. I think most people that go to Korea aren't going to be like, you know what, hasn't helped me a bit.
You know what, actually, you missed out on this. I forgot about it. We had a chat. I think this was actually just after you left the hotel that final night in Austin. And I sat down with Drogo and SortOf and like Xanster and a few others, and two amazing things happened. One was we talked to SortOf and Drogo, and I said, "Hey, what can we do to improve the Korea house? You know, I'm obviously not there. What would better benefit everything?" And they brought up the topic of garbage cans.
What?
You know, for all the planning and desk buying and PC building we did with Jake, apparently nobody ever bought garbage cans. So they would just kind of unanimously make like a clump and eventually throw it out at the end of the week.
That's gross. And
yeah, so I'm like, I messaged
really...
Jake right away. I'm like, dude, you need to get garbage cans WTF. So thank you, SortOf, for letting us know. But then secondly, do you remember there's like a Polish Terran named Sol?
Yeah.
So SortOf and Xanster and everyone and Lambo, they start breaking down with just they can't stop laughing in the middle of the conversation. What's happened was Sol was apparently practicing versus an AI and paused the game to fix things, and then forgot he's playing an AI, so he goes to unpause it, says ready, and waits like 2 minutes for the computer to say ready back before realizing what happened.
Hey man,
this SortOf it was so funny watching this because he's a big dude. He's just chuckling and laughing like the big friendly giant at this instant. It was so funny.
The computer says GG, so
it does.
Can't blame him.
And we'll sometimes ask to surrender too. It's like mercy, please.
So you can't really blame him. But no, that's funny. I can't believe the stupid trash can thing. That's not really what. I feel like you could just told the person that's there, or honestly like bought your own. That's just that kind of grossed me out.
Well, they kind of talked about how they got in a rhythm and they'd all like coordinate and blah blah blah. And I actually kind of understood. Like I've been there. You're right. Your house gets particularly messy, and you just coordinate the mess. I know, right now you're cringing real hard.
Anyways, so this game has gotten to Roach versus Roach. Both players, I think, on Lair. Yes, both those on Lair. Yeah, Roach speed and +1 done for SortOf, but not quite for Serral, who might be up in drones, but missing that upgrade could be crucial.
Yeah, the plus one's gonna help out a ton. The Queen, of course, doesn't have enough transfuses to keep all these roaches alive, but SortOf, despite the timing of this being pretty nice, he's still gonna be the one who has to back away.
Yeah, well, defender's advantage, and he really wasn't committing too hard. I mean, his third base is later, and he had to kind of try and do something against Serral, but it didn't work.
I'm not convinced defender's advantage is what it used to be for Zerg anymore. We've talked about this a little bit, but like I feel most of the aggressive players are the ones getting the upper hand.
Yeah. Well, like they're briefly like watching the game, right, between our discussions, and there hasn't really been a lot happening, so I figure whatever has happened has been less about like direct drone damage and directly killing third bases and more just like anticipation of moves, and Serral has gotten the better end of it every time. Like, I'm pretty sure they started off with SortOf going for a pool first, whereas Serral was just like, whatever, went for a hatch first. So stuff like that has probably added up quite a bit. So now Serral is ahead 20 army supply with faster upgrades now, +2 a little bit faster. And he might be looking to be aggressive finally, like really commit to a push.
Well, he's definitely got the army supply for it. 12 more roaches on the way for SortOf, but even then, might not be enough to actually contest Serral. Nobody really has a lot of Ravagers, though, so it's hard to say because there's no Corrosive Bile difference here where you're like, oh, he's got like 5 extra Corrosive Bile, so he could at least hold on. Like, this could still just be really bad.
Yeah, I think with the Corrosive Biles, Serral's not going to take that engagement. I mean, he might wait for +2, and he will have like 20 seconds, something like that, to take advantage of it, but now he's going to break down the rocks from their open avenue. He is going to transfer over into a Spire. So a little bit delayed because he did attempt an attack first. But still going to be getting mutas, and still, you know, he's going to have this really nice Roach army that he'll never have to really be afraid of being punished for getting that Spire.
Well, army supplies are about even coming to the fight. Upgrades too. There might be a small timing here where Serral's got the better upgrades, but it'll be just very barely.
Yeah. The overlay would work.
Well, what's wrong with the overlay?
I can't hover over it into the time. It looks like it is something... It's substantial for how close their armies are getting to each other. Like, there's still like 15, 20 seconds for SortOf here. And he is attacking in. Serral with a hit squad of roaches.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, killing a lot of drones, distracting SortOf. SortOf might get an instant cancel on Serral's 4th base, because he is up 30 army supply, +2 or not. He also, already has a Ravagers, never mind. But I don't think he's going to be able to get much more. Defender's advantage should be kicking in for Serral. He is banking a lot. He's prepared to go for that Spire, but it's not ready quite yet, and that might kill him. Now just messing everything he has in roaches. Um, 38 roaches to 27. 68 Ravagers. SortOf definitely has an opportunity, but he is rallying. And now Serral has finally decided, like, okay, I'll hold off on the mutas for now. And a lot of more roaches are on the way.
I love these couple of roaches to the side. They do get picked off pretty quickly, but I think that splitting force can sometimes be pretty massive in these games.
SortOf backs off. He's still at equal upgrades, and Serral's muta count isn't like so insane that it's going to be an insta-win, but Serral is going to have that additional tech to start poking and prodding. He did take out a couple of drones over here and is taking leads slightly every which way. Once again, planning down that 4th base. SortOf going to go for an infestation pit. I don't think he knows about the mutas, but he will start losing Overlord soon.
Well, I will say that this was a good deflection out of Serral. It's not like he was in really dire straits and we're like, oh boy, thank God he held on to that game. But when it's Roach versus Roach like that, it's a little bit scary. And the fact that he's able to transition to anything afterwards, like these mutas, is pretty cool.
Sort of unprepared for them, but their numbers are so low that while a couple of Ravagers might be sniped, you know, there's not really a potential to snowball here. The Queens should be enough for this very, very low number of mutas. Just invest in a single Spore Crawler for each base, and it should be fine. But, as I said, Overlords will be cleared up, and that's going to get rid of SortOf's vision. I guess they're still slow, so Corsair Gear could also do it, but the mutas are going to get to it first, and just free damage whenever the Queens are protecting the Ravagers.
Yeah, plus Gladeborn bounces are going to work kind of like splash damage, right? Like, it's just going to be little bits whittling away. Some of these roaches getting a little bit lower. Goes for that dive and focuses on some of the Queens. The spots are okay so far.
SortOf got his Infestors too soon. Not matching up with Passion Glands, so they will only be able to throw out a couple of Infested Terrans, so he's got to buy time.
Yeah. I don't even think there's a scenario here where you want the Infested Terrans. Like, just
Yeah.
like lose the third and wait for Fungals, right?
Yeah. And he's not in danger of losing the third. I mean, they really are still pretty close in that army supply that taking even a bad engagement path could be the difference of 10 army supply. But Serral has such a huge bank behind this. That's really where it's going to start being very scary for SortOf, because he has to take like a super good engagement and then continue forward, really snowball with that to hope to win the game. Otherwise, Serral's going to remax instantly and SortOf's going to barely reach 150 supply again.
I love these mutas still getting work done. Fungals don't quite hit. I guess I'm wrong. This is when you would want Infested Terrans. Like a couple of them to shoot up maybe, as the Infestors are getting sniped off. Overlord's going to get killed too. This is really annoying for SortOf, because I think right now, obviously, he'd love to just focus on Serral's front line and not worry about these mutas. So he starts moving in. Looking for some Corsair Biles. Looking for some Fungals. Good combos.
Yeah, not too bad. Even the last one's being run into basically by Serral. But Serral has almost 4,000 minerals in the bank and can instantly, as I said, remax or just keep on adding on tech. SortOf is building the better army with Hydras now on the way, but Serral is getting to that hive.
Well, Hive Tech's going to be really interesting seeing that come into play. We've seen some weird ZvZs that go late to Ultras, but obviously right now there's no interest in that right now. They're looking at the Roaches. They're looking at the Ravagers.
Serral is such a commanding bank and still not feeling any pressure whatsoever on the front lines. Probably will just try and go up to a Greater Spire. I mean, SortOf could respond by trying to get to Vipers, but he's not gotten a hide yet. And these mutas, if they're not doing anything else, they could just try and scout the main, where they are trying to focus fire a couple of Ravagers as well as other Infestors they find. And they're all dead.
I am loving watching the combos of the fungal growth plus corrosive biles, but losing a base like that's still gonna suck. Because in the meantime, Serral's not only like up a base, he's taken another one.
Yeah, SortOf being denied a base is gonna really start showing. I mean, they've been mostly maxed out. They haven't really committed fully to an attack, and in fact, whenever Serral tries, SortOf is taking the better trades of these fungals. But still, SortOf is going to need somewhat of a bank, and he's going to need a response to the Broodlords. As the Greater Spire does start, Vipers are a response, but you know, if they really truly get up to enough Corruptors and Broodlords, then maybe they aren't. Roach, Tunneling Claws, going to provide more drone damage. Serral's already done this without it, so definitely with it. There are Spore Crawlers, which is funny. Like, it's already for the mutas, so protection's available.
Yeah, it's not just Spore Crawlers, there's also the plenty of Overseers, so detection's not going to be shy.
Yeah, he's still pulling back a significant part of SortOf's Roaches, keeping his eyes off the front lines. There's a pretty sick Corrosive Bile there. Serral already on his way to not only Greater Spire, but also upgrades, again with that superior bank and superior drone count.
I feel just like SortOf's like he's losing this game, and it's everything to do with his base. The pressure's on over here. He's wasting a lot of fungals, not going across the map. Forget the Greater Spire for a second, and you can't really. Like, that's going to kill him. That's the fact that all these fights are looking okay for SortOf, yet he still gains no ground.
Another base. Fairly good cancel it.
This is rough. Again, SortOf takes a really good fight, and he kills a lot of units. But Serral's happy to lose that supply so he can make room for Broodlords.
Yeah, exactly. Catches an Overseer, hopefully SortOf remembers to remake these. Serral not quite willing to get to Broodlords yet, just consistently remaxing on roaches. He's about to have better upgrades, but sort of takes the fights. He gets hit by a lot of corrosive biles. His own fungal is finally going down. Pushing forward, trying to take advantage, but this is where Serral's remax is just so much better. Sort of can't really follow this up quickly enough. He's still got to break down these rocks. Serral's already remaxed. He has 2-2, about to have 3-2. I don't think there's really a way for SortOf to handle this well. He's got a Viper for not only corrosive bile fungal combinations, but also blinding cloud. That was a weird fungal right there. His base is being harassed again, this one being denied. SortOf really is all in with this push.
And it's already not going the greatest. The Hydras and the Roaches busting is pretty much no problem. Like, Serral, well, I see it on.
GG.
I think he did Das tier for the 15-month resub. For some reason, the audio isn't working on it, though.
I had that yesterday, too. I'm not sure what the deal with that is. But yeah, thanks, Das tier. Also, yo, I know Alaska Winter brought it up earlier. We haven't really done a lot of talk about tier 2 versus tier 3 subs yet because we don't really have a lot for it. Like, they are there, and it's so fucking cool if anyone's willing to support us through them. But we don't really have any benefits. We're not really advertising them. I'm having such a dumb moment. That was just game 1, right?
Yeah.
The whole Bly Showtime thing really threw me off.
Second game's gonna be on Newkirk. Thank you to I am Yordle. Yeah, that's an L. For the Twitch Prime sub.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually gonna be really sad when this tournament's over because this is like the last tournament using the old season's map pool. And while I have enjoyed playing on a couple of the maps so far, generally speaking, I think I enjoyed this previous season more than the new one.
I'm ready to let it go. I mean, it seems like every single map pool is, this is the worst one since the last one, and I miss the last one so much more.
I guess I don't mean in terms of negativity. It's just it's literally different now. Where like you've got thirds that have one gas and things like this, stuff we haven't seen before. So maybe it will be good. Maybe it'll be great. I'm just saying I generally have enjoyed regular StarCraft, I guess. Also, big thank you to I am Yordle.
I got that.
This is. Oh, did you? Sorry, my bad. I was just gonna make a joke. I say it's not a League of Legends stream. It was the only reason I was going.
Yeah, I know. I was like, that's an L, not an I. It even took me a while. It looks like Bly finally is back up and running. So it's a good thing we just wait.
Luck.
Oh. Everyone in? Everyone in. Okay.
Nice.
Okie dokie. Drinking soda in the morning is not great. Doesn't feel great. But coffee made me sick last time I tried. On Friday morning?
Feels bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you say it's so depressing?
That my coffee hurt me? No, I wouldn't say that was so depressing.
God damn it.
You should use it quicker. In the bottom right, as the red Zerg, it is SortOf. Change colors. Motherfuckers.
It was on me. Bottom left, gonna be the blue Zerg player, Serral.
Why is Rifkin's mic so odd today? It's called compression.
Yeah, actually, Wardy and I were using Discord yesterday. I guess if it's really bad, we can give it a shot, but I don't know.
It sounds fine. Like, I don't know. It's what I hear all the time. Yeah.
You're just not used to the soothing tones of my high-quality mic through no compression.
I've heard it. It's all right.
Shut up! It's great. What the fuck?
I still like really hesitant to even believe Discord is that much better. I feel like every time I've tried to use it in place of Skype, it's had similar like lagginess sometimes, to be honest, and as well as compression.
I'm like the neutral guy from Futurama. Like, I have no strong opinions either way.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. Stop complaining. Everyone shut up.
But yeah, someone's asking about tier 1 and tier 2 subs. I guess if you maybe have missed it, because it's been a pretty big deal on Twitch the last little while, they came out with different tiers of subs. You pay $9.99, you pay $24.99. Right now, it doesn't do anything for the viewer so much, but it helps the broadcasters a bunch because we do get, I guess, more money per person, which is always nice. But as far as I can tell, there's no real way to reward those people. Like, there's no, like, when you're in your dashboard, there's no like send message to only tier 2 subs and things like that. So I don't think I'm really going to be pushing it until we like can actually do some cool stuff for them. But I don't know, there's not really a lot to talk about for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what other streamers are doing, but all they can do is get around the banned word list.
Yeah. Actually, so I saw this, there's an emote artist I follow, and she had this great idea, and I kind of like it a lot, actually, where she wishes you could actually have different, I guess, skins for the emotes, if you will. And, like, say, by watching the stream X many hours, you could, like, unlock a skin. So, like, suddenly now Ace Kate has a hat or something, right? But I was thinking that'd be kind of cool. We could do, like, different versions of those for, like, our most popular emotes or something like that for the tier 2, tier 3 subs.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty good idea. I don't got much more to say about that.
No. There's going to be a bit of a link scuffle, though, so at least you won't have to worry about finding words. Hey.
Yeah, it's not too worrying, though. Third base is always going to be the contention point on Newkirk Precinct. They both are going into Link Baneling. Serral with slightly faster Banelings, though, could also just really pile on the pressure, basically. I mean, his own third finally gets slapped down. But this is being real annoying for SortOf, who just barely didn't have enough Lings initially, but now still at only an even count. Be careful. There you go.
Slow Ling micro is actually something I think really underappreciated by most.
Well, it is pretty slow. Speed is going to finish up, it looks like, first for Serral, but he's not really making too many more Lings, so I don't think it's going to be too important. Overlords are still alive on both sides, although Serral is missing one probably right here. Oh, no, he has one here. Yeah, that's good enough. To see if their opponents are continuing to make a lot of Lings, but there we go. Last drone came out and then into Ling to try and punish the third base, or really just get his third base a lot faster and a lot better economy. So Baneling's also being made. Got some on the north too. Maybe catch sort of off guard from behind.
Slow Banelings, slow Lings. Well, I guess fast Lings now, but I was going to say early game ZvZ. Very, very particular. Gotta watch for those hits. Banelings walk right past him to the natural.
These ones are sniped. These ones, okie dokie then.
Well, that was not too shabby. 9 drones.
No, it was not. Believe it or not, that only puts Serral 2 above, and they're both making drones anyways. But he still has a lot of Lings, an equal number of Banelings, so SortOf has to be very careful. He's looking for the 2-for-4 shot. Still not quite able to find it. Okay, he almost got it. Still takes out the last Baneling, however, but not enough Lings. Sees the road transition.
I was say Queens should get focused here. They're doing the most. They're going to be the most problematic kind of push in. But is he really not? Okay, gets the one Queen, goes to the other. No, runs past, goes to the main.
I'm gonna get that scout off. If he had any more Lings on the way, that Queen is definitely dead, and he might have been able to even snowball a little bit more, but takes the drone lead anyways. That hit was pretty brutal, and he's the one that's got to droning a little bit faster, but sort of quickly catches up again. Layers, evolution chambers, roach warrens, everything's looking quite similar.
Well, I thought that would go a lot worse, to be honest. So, I guess good job. Yay, we still continue forward without anyone being out of the game.
Yeah.
Army supplies are still just generally pretty low. 2 Banelings can't trade for the 3 unless they're hatched. Cocoons have more health than not. I don't know if you guys saw, TLO actually had a really sick Baneling bait with specifically those mechanics. Made some highlights on Reddit.
I did not see that. But Ling Wars, once again.
1 Ling for 3 Banelings is pretty sick.
That is pretty sick. Serral investing a bit more into Lings here. If he had done this earlier, then yeah, that's where the snowball happens, but there's already a lot of roaches on the way out, so as long as these two banelings don't get the greatest hits ever, which they aren't. So I'm just gonna go for the drones, but there's only only a few. So these two aren't even gonna try, maybe come back later. Serral's gotta get to his own roaches and even feels a bit of a panic moment realizing that, oh, maybe I shouldn't have gone for Lings. I should have gone right into the roaches. So he's getting spine crawlers. He'll have roach speed, whereas SortOf does not. SortOf did not go for a lair, actually. Everything else was similar. That lair was the big difference maker. And I guess he never really invested into the evolution chipper that he made. So it is that all-in. Roach, Baneling, Ling, and Serral is not quite prepared for it. Did lose 5 drones. I guess the Banelings did come back, but I don't know if that's enough to make up for the army supply.
And of course, the Banelings are just... There's no way to contest them. The spine crawlers might be able to soak them up, I guess. Roach decided behind the Sim City. It's kind of cool to see. Serral, though, starts actually just on the south side looking out, but I don't think there's a sort of still just have more army supply.
Yeah, a little bit breaking up, but it sort of has more army supply. Spine crawlers helping out quite a lot. He could definitely focus fire these Ravagers, and that'd be very, very nice. He does, in fact, do so. So only one ends up popping here. And Serral's defender's advantage really kicking in. He's only lost 4 drones, and SortOf is going to be behind upgrades and roach speed, so this really is all in.
Feels bad, man, when you don't know if you can talk because of Skype.
Yeah, GG.
Should I try hosting call, maybe?
Yeah, go ahead.
Turning your webcam on by habit?
Yeah, I guess I did. I mean, I just pressed a button. I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Zombie Girl for streaming again. Most of the time I try to do it because I know her wrist bugger and stuff, but today there's going to be a period where I definitely have to AFK for the cast for a decent amount of time, and then generally speaking, I've been a little bit sick. So I tried to make a joke about it yesterday, but I really did feel like I let the stream down. Like AFK in the middle of a game, I felt really fucking bad about that. It's not fun being sick, guys.
Nope.
Not that I imagine there's anyone who would make the argument that it is. So like, what are you talking about, Rifkin? Being sick is like what I live for. It's like 95% of what I do.
Kids, maybe. People who don't want to go into work the next day. They'll be like, yay, I'm sick. I have a legitimate reason not to go.
That's just as you're using the Carbot Infestor, like...
Hell yeah. It's the best emote.
Bellshire Vestige. By the way, I gotta say too, while we can cast these incredibly long days, and honestly, the hour to dollar value is not there in terms of ad revenue specifically. I would like to say we've actually had some substantially generous ad revenue the last 2 days, at least compared to what we normally get. So I know right now there's like a little bit of a hot topic to chat about ad block and blah blah blah, but those who don't ad block and actually do watch our commercials from time to time, I really do appreciate it, and it is showing. Like, to be clear, every time you watch one of our ads, it's like maybe 1/10 of a penny that we get from one person, right? So when we start seeing actual dollar values, that means a lot of people aren't ad blocking, and that feels really good to know. So thank you guys for your support lately.
Yeah. I guess they're starting 3 series now. I don't fucking know. But Gumiho versus Hero Marine is happening, so a lot of casters are going over there.
Okay.
I think
should be a pretty good set.
Maybe there is still 2 because Bly's still trying to get his thing fixed.
Yeah, his kind of got screwed up schedule-wise, I guess.
Yeah. Well, in the top left, up 2-0, right? It is the blue Zerg Serral.
And my camera won't stick, so I'm just going to say his opponent in the bottom right is going to be the red Zerg player, SortOf.
Serral going for a bit of an early pool here. I'm going to close it out.
it's I feel like an easier said than done thing though. Like an early pool doesn't mean like you get an auto win. There's a pretty good chance your opponent might just even blind counter, right? So, kind of risky moves, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it is risky. SortOf has been going for at least one other pool first. I don't remember what he did last game, to be honest. But definitely on Abyssal Reef, he went for a pool first. Pool, hatch, gas, I think is what he went for, and that looks to be what he's doing again here. So he's going to have the bit faster queens and his own lings to respond. And, well, the real question is, when does he figure out that it is the gas follow-up as well? It is going to be the Baneling immediate follow-up, not Speedling, then Baneling. That might be a bit of a surprise. So Overlord's going to take quite a while to see that this is actually incoming. Basically, it should only see that it's an early pool once it sees the hatchery. Or the next two links. But basically not these links. These should not reveal themselves.
Yeah, he dodged past it. I like that. That's like, I feel like when I started learning about StarCraft casting, especially the other races, this was one of the first things where you know, like, okay, a really good Zerg player knows the pathing of the Overlords.
He does see it with this one. So, I mean, Serral, I think, was actually just choosing a little bit of extra time over trying to hide it, and it's already pretty close. I mean, the builds have already been chosen. All you do is give them a little bit more mental preparation. And Serral's got to think of, like, okay, what is he doing exactly? Is it just the lings? He's about to see the hatchery here, so he knows that it's not the full gas follow-up, but that's where the banelings might be a surprise. He doesn't have an overlord to see that banelings are on the way, so we might think that it was entirely gasless. If he had pulled the drones and lings to try and save that hatchery, the banelings come in and it's like almost game over for sure. But by canceling it, sure, he's not behind, but at least he lives. Even canceling the spine crawlers, he realizes exactly what build it is.
Smart stuff.
I mean, Serral, while he might have the faster hatchery, is still down 5 workers. Nice snipe while you could with that queen, but now it's a bit complicated. Another baneling is on the way. Serral is not droning too hard, although now he is. But he's going to get another cancel on SortOf's base, and that is where things get really testy for SortOf. Now he's going to have speed, so he has control over the map, but he's got to be ever so careful because there are still banelings from Serral.
Yeah, and of course, it's been said before, we'll say it again, like one good baneling hit can really change a game, or if you're already ahead, it can make it just end.
Yeah. I mean, that's what SortOf has to, really try and do, at least to keep lings off the back of his hatcheries, is by being aggressive. And he's not, I don't think he knows that Serral isn't going for his own speed, but he knows that it would be later than his, most likely. So taking control over the map is definitely what he should do. And he might even get a faster third off the back of this. Speed kicks in, he's going to try and micro his best against the banelings, but already almost 3 for 1 there, and instead just loses a ling. Serral going to cancel the banelings he was morphing in. He doesn't, I guess he would see any more lings that are on the way, and there aren't any more lings from SortOf. He takes that faster third base, and the Overlord does just barely see that. Ling's gonna go for a scout. You gotta wonder what Serral is doing. He's either just waiting patiently for speed to finish so he can push back SortOf and get his own third base, or is he trying something really sneaky, like maybe just getting straight up to roaches, or even a 2-base lair, but it is just the patient pushback, it looks like. And there's that drone going for that third base. This Ling sees the banelings and the lings that are returned home, but now they're coming back again, so he's got to reposition. He still doesn't have speed, so it's going to be hard to micro against his opponent's banelings. The Queen's even coming forward here, going to try and snipe this Overlord. Got it. Sort of a little bit supply blocked for it, too. Needs to compensate. This hatchery already has a bit of health, so I don't think these few lings can actually kill it.
Queen's, of course, focusing on the banelings as well on the backside. Banelings for banelings and banelings for lings. Either way, he's got to get something off to stop the hatchery from going down. Has to cancel.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Surprised. But that many lings just barely able to DPS it down, so it is instantly canceled and rebuilt, and the time is still not devastating, I would say. Like, it's entire hatchery behind, but, the drones have been in favor of Serral for a while now, with 5 more on the way. I mean, leaps and bounds, but now at, 4 is pretty decent.
I'm actually really surprised. The opener into the follow-up into the way these guys have been attacking each other, this still ends up being pretty evenly timed roaches with a very similar worker count, both on 3 bases. Very impressive.
If Serral doesn't lose his hatchery again, I would say that he has a lead. His economy should be... Yeah, okay. Income graph does show that he has had that lead, and it might result in just a few more roaches, but they really are quite small. But, I mean, so is it on Abyssal Reef, you know? I guess... Sort of got a much slower third base on Abyssal Reef, but the point is, like, the numbers were always just barely lower for him, and that really snowballed into Serral getting, like, 10 more drones and then, like, 4,000 more minerals in the bank.
Hmm.
Oh, Spire actually on the way. He did go for this on Abyssal Reef, but it was a pretty delayed Spire. He already had a very sizable roach army, and they had gone past the point that sort of could have tried to punish him, really, for saving up for a Spire. I mean, he almost, like, it looked close for, like, a second, but really, it wasn't the old, you know, I only have 8 roaches and you have 30, and I'm trying to get to mutas. That can happen, but sort of doesn't know that that's his plan. Still no scout, no further scout in the main base or the natural.
By the way, don't recognize this name, but thank you, Doc Holiday TV, for the host. And hello to all your viewers.
Oh. Well, speaking of scouts, Serral does get into that main base. Sees a lair, and that should be enough to tell him that the +1 is also on the way. I think he also saw that it was wiggling and jiggling. But basically that if, I mean, SortOf can obviously still attack. Like, SortOf is getting a much bigger army supply, but it's not going to be that all-in that could really, really punish Serral. So Serral probably paying very close attention to his overlords, watching for that move out, as he is trying to get at least a couple of roaches to defend, but still banking a bit for those mutas. Is it larva problem? No, he has 6 larvae. He should go to mutas. There we go, 7 mutas, and SortOf is not already on the way over, means that these 7 mutas should stop him from being too aggressive. And 7 mutas isn't a ton of DPS, and SortOf still has a 20 army supply lead, but it's always going to be a little bit suspicious to let the free damage happen over the course of an entire map. Now 9 mutas, and Serral, you know, don't forget, also has his own roaches as well as +1 in roach speed, so there's no benefits there. It is just, again, like that free damage attacking from above. This is SortOf's first sight on the mutas. He didn't see that Spire in the natural, but he's still going to commit to this, hoping to find an opportunity. He might. Queens have a couple transfuses, and there's not a whole lot of roaches. 11 more on the way, but those mutas, they're getting a lot of Glaveworm damage done, and I don't think SortOf's push is going to do too much, but I don't know. Actually, splitting off, that's going to really complicate things. Roaches are popping out from that right side, but they're also going into that left. That natural might be where the real damage is done. Serral's up 10 drones. He can afford to lose a few. Nita's still trying to pick off some of these very, very low roaches. The drone count's starting to be hit. 8, 9. Those are still SortOf's roaches, actually. It's doing a lot of damage.
Wow.
Serral is still holding strong enough, and these mutas could probably make up for at least half of these drone losses. But yeah, that natural, unfortunately, was, I think, where most of the damage was done. This one was cleaned up pretty quickly, but 17 drones puts him down by 6, which isn't, you know, too bad. And the mutas will now get at least 3 free overlords, and I'm going to assume at least a handful of drones at some point or another. It SortOf not only did damage, but also took that time and necessary for Serral to clean that up to go for Hydralisks.
Yeah, it's all, I guess it's kind of annoying too with the mutas cleaning up the overlords. SortOf's gonna be playing blind for a little while, so Hydras and Roaches are a great composition, but you still have to have positioning with them. Might not be easy to pull off.
Yeah, I'm getting a couple of queens, a couple of overlords, and a couple of drones. Couple Hydras. Already that has helped bring him back. Now he is, up 10 workers. That 4th base is already done. He already planted that down, I guess, while the attack was happening. And while it hadn't been used up until now, he's at 65 drones, and it probably will be at least partially saturated. Well, this Muta's doing a pretty good job. I mean, SortOf's got to play the long, slow game, and that is like a sucky playstyle, personally. I hate playing like this, but it is something that you can eventually get to that maxed out army and might even be better. But Serral is really fought back since those 17 drone losses earlier and is now having a pretty hefty supply lead. He's up 30 army supply. He has infestors instead of hydras, and he has +2. So sort of might have been thinking like that did enough damage. Looking at the actual numbers, that's not the case.
Oh my god. So you remember how we mentioned Bly fixed things, right?
I don't think I did. I think I said he's still having trouble.
Or he's having trouble, excuse me. Well, I just saw his Twitter.
Okay.
I guess I'll hold the story for the moment. Another attack comes underway. Hydras are some pretty good DPS. They're gonna outclass Ravagers when it comes to auto attacks, but of course the Bow's Land is another story.
Not the best fungal right there. I mean, SortOf's arm is getting awfully choked in, so the best fungal could be seconds away. It looks like Serral's gonna play it very safe. Oh, no, maybe not. Yeah, there we go. He pushes out. He has a 30 army supply lead, and this army of SortOf really doesn't look that great numbers-wise. Once the roaches are gone too, those hydras will die very shortly after. Reinforcements have been picked off by these mutas. Very nice tactic, and Serral still has that drone lead, so even as he loses a 4th base, he still has the potential to take a very, very good fight. That one infestor is targeted. They didn't have a fungal anyways. This one goes down, and there's going to be almost a complete surround here from Serral. He's just going to have such a good army supply. That's it. GG.
Congratulations, Serral.
Yeah, that's a
I was going to mention, Bly's hooked up like what looks like a car battery to a converter to his PC. I guess he got a power out or something. Jesus.
That's funny. Creative. Glad Tilo was able to tweet out him that. Well, that's a 3-0. Good job, Serral. SortOf goes to the loser's bracket. There is a loser's bracket. And I guess we're going to try and get into whatever series is going on now. So whether it's Gumiho Hero Marine or Showtime Bly, I guess we'll come back.
Just to really lay it on so everyone's aware, like these are no longer groups. It's no longer like 4 best of 5s into like a finisher. This is just a straight up double elimination bracket going forward.
Yep. Like I said, we're going to take a break until we find out what we're doing. See ya.